Hey everybody, welcome back to TURDS Into Diamonds. It's the end of Season 12 review. Before we get started, if you're enjoying these videos, please help us out with the algorithm. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, help us get seen a little bit more, and with that we can keep on making these videos for you. We are going to look back on what was an epic season that ended in heartbreak. And we're going to look at how we can possibly try and improve and compete to try and get promotion next season. Is it even possible with our budget and our stadium? We're going to find out, aren't we? Let's get right into this. Yes, welcome everybody to another episode of TURDS Into Diamonds. I think this is episode 97. I think it might be. Maybe I'm wrong about that. You'll see when you see the number on the thumbnail. Well, what a season it was. Our first ever season in the championship. And somehow we managed to make the playoffs. It was far beyond expectation. We were 350 to 1 to win the league at the start of the season. We had by far the smallest stadium in the league, a 5,000 capacity. We had by far the smallest wage budget in the league. We were paying just over 70,000 a week. And somehow we managed to get things together and become a playoff team. Absolutely phenomenal. As you can see, Sunderland won the league with 97 points. Birmingham, this pains me, Birmingham, who finished second to us in League One last season, have gone straight up into the Premier League. They spent a lot of money in the summer. It worked out for them, back-to-back promotions. And Brentford, who have just beaten us, are going to play Blackburn in the playoff final. I think Brentford did look like a Premier League team. I would make them favourites to win that game. But you know what? Next season is going to be just as tough because Norwich are still there, West Brom are still there, Middlesbrough are still there. Those are three teams that have, I think, a great chance of qualifying for the playoffs next season. They are close to Premier League standard, I think, looking at their squads. Burnley are still down here as well. They have recent Premier League experience. So it is not going to be at all easy. Yeah, we have really got to have a great summer transfer window to stand a chance of repeating what we've done this season. I think we would need to make some major signings to have a chance, probably, of getting ourselves up into an automatic spot. Ipswich, Millwall and Tranmere have been relegated. I don't think they're going to be a great loss. They were pretty poor, those teams, this season. And if we go down and look into League One, who has been promoted in the end? Let's have a look. Nottingham Forest is that the playoff final? Wow, so Nottingham Forest have beaten Luton. Nottingham Forest are back in the Championship, along with Sheffield Wednesday and Plymouth. Sheffield Wednesday are going to be a big threat in the Championship, as are Nottingham Forest with the money that they have to spend. And the fact that Luton have not gone up, look, they finished third, a point below Plymouth. They have a fantastic player, which I would love to get. One of the great, let's have a look. Where is he? Where is he? They have got a fantastic, where is he? Wonder kid. Is it Hill? Is it Edward Hill? They have a fantastic wonder kid. No, he's 24, but he looks all right. Let's scout him as well. Where is their wonder kid? It's this one. It's Rodri Burton. For some reason, playing left midfield. Now, he is 16 years old. Look at him. He's only got a year left on his contract. He's on a youth contract. I'm going to declare interest there just to put a bit of pressure on him. He looks like he is going to be awesome, doesn't he? At 16, looks very good. He's already had, if we look here, a full season in League One. I'm sure I thought he played some first team games last season. I'm obviously wrong. Yeah, maybe could we get hold of him? I mean, he's meant to be worth about 5.5. As I start coughing at the thought of paying 5.5 million for someone. Yeah, he's worth far too much money for us to get hold of, but he does only have a year left on his contract. I would imagine there's going to be some huge teams interested in him, but we'll see what happens there. But yeah, Luton not going up makes his future very interesting. We'll have to see what happens with him. But yeah, Nottingham Forest coming up, that is another huge name back in the Championship, along with Sheffield Wednesday. I feel like that just makes everything harder for next season. And if we look at the Premier League, Harry Brady, by the way, finishing top scorer in the Championship, as you can see there. If we look in the Premier League, Manchester City were champions this year. They have overcome Chelsea's dominance. Chelsea finishing second. Liverpool outside the Champions League places again. And Southampton making it to the Europa League, which is excellent for them. Newcastle only managing the Conference League. They are now one of the dominant teams in the country, so that is a poor season for them. Leicester have gone down, Brighton have gone down, and Fulham have gone down. So those are three more huge names that are going to have really good players, all coming down to the Championship. The Championship next season, I think, is going to be tougher than it was this season. Really tough. Erling Haaland, once again, surely English football player of the season, top scorer in the Premier League, and the highest average rating as well. Phil Foden coming second there. Who is Luis Vargas? Let's have a look at Luis at Southampton. He looks a good player, the Costa Rican striker. Yeah, it will be a while before we can think about tempting him, but we'll have a look at him. I think we had a look at Ailton Varela in last season's end of season review. Maybe we didn't because he's not on my shortlist, but yeah, Manchester United midfielder, he looks absolutely cracking, doesn't he? And Daniel Williams at Chelsea, I know I've got him on my shortlist. 25-year-old striker, a World Cup winners medal with England. He looks a very good player, doesn't he? Yeah, so there you go. Next season is going to be phenomenally difficult. If we look at our finances, we are 1.2 million in debt, and at the moment I can now see what our budget is going to be. We've been given a 71,000 budget and an 800,000 transfer budget, so that is good. I don't think I'm going to be able to spend any money, but what I will do is move those 800,000 into the wage budget just to help us compete a little bit better there. So what sort of prize money have we got for finishing in the sixth place in the Championship? Let's have a look. So first of all, players inducted into the overall best 11. Ellis Chapman, he absolutely deserves that. 30 goals in 129 games. And Mario Kakiao has also been inducted into the overall best 11, which is not a best 11 because it's a squad. Tommy Reed is our best ever goalkeeper there. Dylan Jones, the left back, Gabadebo and Simpson, the centre backs, Igor Luiz, right back. Ellis Chapman partnering Agyapong in the midfield now. Liam Gibbs, Joshua Duffus, Mario Kakiao comes in on the right, and James Price is the striker in our historical 11. Sam Blair on the bench as the goalkeeper. George Ray, Jay Williams, great to see him still there. I think he's still playing. No, he's not. He's retired. He's retired. He's ahead of youth development. You can see he had 3 clubs in non-league after he left us. And yeah, he's now ahead of youth development. I cannot imagine anybody ever giving him a job as a head of youth development or as a coach. Who else? Thomas Hughes is still in there. We know he's retired. What a shame that he couldn't find a club after leaving us. Joaquin Malicio is on the bench. That's great to see. Joe Evans. What is Joe Evans doing now? He went to Burton in League One and he just played a handful of games last season, which is a bit of a shame. But I'm glad he's still in League One. It's great to see that he is still playing at a decent level. And Joe Hardy, I think he's retired as well. Yeah, he retired after leaving us as well. What a shame. The ex-Manchester City and Liverpool man. There you go. What else? Where are they now? It's the best 11. Where are they now? That's why none of these teams or none of these players fit together in one team. It is from the overall best 11. Sam Blair is still playing at Drogheda United. Yeah, what a great player he was for us in the non-league. Yeah, great to see that he's still going strong and getting a regular game there. What else? Pretty much everyone here has retired, I think. Samuel Agyapong, of course, went to Ghana to play his football. There you go. Played 11 games there. Our captain through the non-league, League 2 and League 1 era. Fantastic player. And now settled in his homeland of Ghana. There you go. Joe Evans at Burton, as we said. All right, so let's get into the season review. Actually, let's look at the budget first. All right, so as we saw, we got 71,000. I think moving this 800,000 over to the wage budget is going to give us a little bit more in the wages than last season, which would be very, very handy. I don't think I'm going to be looking to really sign players. But there you go. Club vision and expectations. What is the board's expectation for next season before I get into the review? Play high tempo football, play defensively solid football, play possession football. We've got to try and improve on making the most of set pieces. Play entertaining football. Expand the stadium. Yes, we certainly want that. I'm going to ask them to do that then, seeing as that is one of their 5-year plan objectives. And they still want us to continue to fight bravely against relegation this season. So I think that's all very acceptable. What else have we got here? Squad dynamics, Igor Louise, Callum Simpson and Alex Baker, the big team leaders. Callum Simpson, of course, set to leave if we can't manage to get him back on loan from West Brom. I think he's just going to cost too much money. So I guess likely is going to be that Alex Baker will become our new captain with Igor Louise as the vice captain for next season. But we really do have a really good squad of leaders here. Players like Tommy Reed, Dylan Jones, Ellis Chapman, Sunny Salo. We've just got some real good leaders in the side. New season team report. Let's have a look. Yeah, I mean, we've got a strong 11 in terms of the attackers and the defenders. I think we'll talk a little bit more about what we're going to prioritise, but I think midfield is definitely an area we've got to improve. Let's have a look. The squad are now on their end of season break, so I still haven't seen how much prize money we get for finishing 6th in the championship. With the fact that we're 1.2 million in debt, I'm hoping it's going to be a decent amount that can get us back in the black, and then we'll have to see what happens in the summer in terms of what sort of money we might be able to bring in with some fringe players. But let's have a look before we go to the end of season team meeting. Let's have a look at the end of season review then. Let's get into this. So it was a great season, even if it did end in heartbreak. It was a really positive season. Just finishing 6th was just so far beyond expectations. The players that came in, Jack Evans, I didn't play him in the first half of the season. I only really put him in the team because we were on such a bad run. I just wanted to change things up. But he was a huge part of our turnaround in the end. And I think having him injured for the playoffs was a big factor in us not really doing as well as we needed to. I really hope he's going out of contract at Fulham. I really hope we can get him signed up on that free transfer. Keep that front line together for next season. He was absolutely fantastic. So, yeah, really pleased with Jack Evans. What a great little player. Hopefully he is here to stay for next season. Philip Apaya coming in on loan from Chelsea. He's got to be a candidate for Young Player of the Season. He was absolutely awesome. Losing Callum Simpson and losing Pakula for next season. I think having Philip Apaya gives me the confidence that we've got a decent backup there that can come in and fill that gap. Mateus Pekula, I'm still really annoyed that I didn't realise he was going out of contract at AC Milan. I would have offered him a contract. He's off to Millwall. He's going to be playing in League One. He is so far above that level. I'm guessing he's going to be on a big fat contract with Millwall. But yeah, I would have loved to have had him here for next season, but it's not to be. Mario Kakiao coming in from Burnley, of course, played for us in League One on loan. And then, I mean, he was just fantastic. 17 goals and 10 assists. Playing first as a right winger and then as a trequartista in the number 10 position. Absolutely superb. Harry Wilson, now 36. I was hoping he'd retire, but he hasn't announced anything. He had a really good start to the season, but at 35 years old, he just dropped off so quickly. He was really, really good during those first 12 games, that brilliant run, that brilliant start to the season that we had. He was key to that, but he got old very, very quickly. He was one of those players that just got old overnight. His legs gave out. He's physically, he's completely shot now. Yeah, I mean, if I have to keep him as he runs out the last year of his contract, maybe he's going to be a decent little bit part player at 3,300 a week. He's not overly expensive, so maybe he's got a role to play. He's a good leader as well, lots of experience. But yeah, he really dropped away in the second half of the season. Josh Kennedy was okay. He's probably more a League One player, so the fact that he had a 6.95 season, 3 goals, 7 assists, I think it's an acceptable return for a player that's probably playing above his level, so can't complain about that. Anthony Johnson, overall a disappointment. Our record signing, £250,000, the striker, but he just couldn't get a game with Harry Brady being in front of him. The majority of his games in the end he played on the right wing, so I can't really complain too much about his goals return. 11 in 41. 15 starts, 11 goals, 5 assists. I think he's got lots to offer. If I was able to sell him on at a profit this summer, I probably would do, but I'm happy to keep him around as well. Yeah, not a disaster, but Ufidrea, again, he's really a League One right back. With the players that I've got coming in the summer, the young players that are coming in, do I sell him? Do I try and move him on and get his... I think he's on 3,300 a week as well. Get that off the wages. We'll have to wait and see. Glenn Geens came in from Burnley on loan. Yeah, just one substitute appearance. Forget about him. Francis Saunders, I was actually really pleased with in the end. He had a really tough start when he was playing as a left back. He's not really a left back. He's a centre back. He was brought in as the left back cover. He's just not technical enough to play as left back, particularly in a possession team such as ours. But as a centre-back, I think he's a really, really good third or fourth choice centre-back. So I'm quite happy with him. Rocco Vata coming in from Dunfermline for 220,000. I'm going to try and sell him this summer. He was a big disappointment, but at the same time, the same as for Anthony Johnson. He just couldn't get a game because Harry Brady was so incredible as the striker. He's really a deep-lying forward, but yeah, he really wasn't able to get a game. And that really limited his chance to be effective. He played most of the time as a midfielder, which is not really his position. So, yeah, disappointment, but understandable why. Grant Stewart came in from Celtic, didn't get a game. And Paul Collins came in from Blackburn, or was released by Blackburn. He's the fourth choice goalkeeper. Obviously, with that, he's not going to play, but a decent backup if we ever should need him in the future. But there you go. So, yeah, that was the players that came in. The season results, obviously in the league, I mean, we just had a fantastic time of it. A great start. Then at the end of October, we lost our first game. November and December, we were absolutely abysmal. And it's these 2 months here that really perhaps cost us an automatic promotion place. We only finished 13 points off automatic. So, I mean, that's 4 wins and a draw. You look at the games we lost here. And if we'd have kept the same form through November and December, we probably would have been talking about automatic promotion. From January onwards, we did turn it around. The middle of January there, beating Swansea. From then, we never looked back. We only lost 2 more games in the league for the rest of the season before we lost to Brentford in the playoffs. It was a good season, really. Carabao Cup, we got to the 4th round. We played the reserves against Southampton, no problem there. Or was that the 3rd round? I guess that was the 3rd round. Papa John's we didn't enter. Are we going to enter that next season? Is that why it says not entered yet? I hope we are in it. That would be great to just give some of the youngsters games. And the FA Cup, we got to the 3rd round again, lost to Brentford at home 4-3 in injury time. So, yeah, an up and down season, but overall very, very good. 6-2 away at Portsmouth. That was a great win. Jack Evans with 2, Baker with 1, Chapman with 2 and an own goal. We beat Ipswich 3-0 away. That was the match to remember because that was our first ever win in the Championship. Brady, Johnson and Kakiao. Johnson on his debut, I remember that being. And a 2-1 win at against Tranmere when Saunders scored that goal of the season. I'm not going to play it. We did see it a couple of episodes ago. If you haven't seen it, check out the episode where, I think it was about 4 episodes ago, where we look back on that game. Saunders scoring from 27 metres out, hit the underside of the bar, bounced down over the line and up into the net. Absolute cracker. I agree with that being our goal of the season. Then merchandise sales are up. That's looking really good. 3,000 shirts sold. Kakiao, the #1 shirt, which is more than understandable. Kennedy sold very well. Chapman sold brilliantly again. Harry Wilson sold very well. I guess it's understandable. Big name. And Johnson as the record signing sold very well. Expect Harry Brady to be right up there next season. Broadcast revenue way up, nearly 3 million. Corporate hospitality way up. Competition prize money, that's still to come in. That's surely got to go up. I'm sure there must be competition prize money for finishing 6th in the Championship. Matchday commercial and retail is down. That is surprising. Seeing as we are now a Championship team, that really does surprise me. And sponsorship stayed the same. Expect that to go up soon as well. How we lined up, yeah, I mean, this really was our best team, no doubt about it. Yeah, I'm in full agreement with that one. Harry Brady's 35 goals. Can he top that next season? That will be interesting to see. And the accolades, we got 1 Manager of the Month award. I think finishing 6th, we're contenders to be Manager of the Year. I wouldn't be surprised if we get it. Harry Brady Fans Player of the Year, Young Player of the Season, Signing of the Season, Mario Kakiao, Francis Saunders Goal of the Season, Top Goal Scorer Harry Brady, Ellis Chapman Top Assist again, now 32. What do I do with Ellis Chapman? He wants a new contract. I mean, he's still really, really good. Do I give him a new contract? I don't know what to do about that. He's on $2,500 a week. Do I give him an extra year? I mean, his physicals are starting to drop off. Could he maybe even come in and end up as a left back for us? We'll have to see what I do about that. But he has been promised a new contract, so it's either upset him and move him on, or give him the contract. Harry Brady, Most Player of the Match awards, highest average rating, and Alex Baker, most passes completed. And breaking records, Harry Brady equalled James Price's record of 35 goals in a season. I think doing it in the Championship, very impressive. Harry Brady is without doubt the best striker we have ever had at the club. Most league goals by a player in a season, 32. As we've said before, there's a little asterisk there because it is way below what D'Amalio Brown Sterling achieved in the Southern League, but was never recorded in our history. Worst discipline, Eagle Louise, 18 yellows, 2 red cards, and Anthony Johnson, the highest ever transfer fee paid. So there you go. Let's send the players off. Let's discuss plans for next season. The board obviously just want us to avoid relegation. Let's have a look. What do you mean? I mean, I'm pleased we were able to avoid relegation, and we're going to need to learn the lessons from it to make sure we're not embroiled in a similar battle. We finished 6th. Come off it. I'm looking ahead to next season. I'm confident we can avoid relegation. I'm going to say that. I think they're going to get upset with this. I think they're going to say I'm putting pressure on them. Oh no, they're pleased. There you go. That'll do. Brilliant. Just what I wanted to hear. I want you to all enjoy your breaks. Off you go. Thanks, everybody. Let's have a look. So, everybody leaving the club nice and confident. Brian Nolan is a little bit reserved there. He wants to go out on loan. But I think Brian Nolan is going to be a first choice player next season. So we'll have to see what happens about that. There you go. So that kind of wraps up everything for the end of the season. I just want to see if we get any prize money, really. Let's just put a little pressure here on Rodri Burton. Make sure he doesn't sign a new contract with Luton. There you go. Let's see if that gets any interest from him. Just try and get him to hold off signing that contract. See if we can get him on the cheap. There you go. So next season, let's clear this out, and let me just finish off by talking about what I am thinking for next season. I want to prioritise a goalkeeper. So Sanisalo, if I had to go into next season with him, I would do, but I really think we need to find a championship goalkeeper. Sanisalo is a top level League One goalkeeper. He is not a top level championship keeper. I think just making that change would be absolutely huge for us. In the fullback position, I'm happy to continue with Igor Luiz and Dylan Jones. They both adapted really well, had really good overall ratings this season. I think they can certainly do the same job next season. At centre back, Philip Apaya. And then who is the second centre back going to be? I would love to try and get Callum Simpson on loan for another year. I don't think it's going to be possible. Pakula is obviously going to Millwall. It leaves us with Brian Nolan, who I think is good enough, but he had an awful season. I think he's good enough. If he can play regular first team football and improve from it, we can get his marking up, get his heading up. I think mentally he can still improve, but he's good enough. But at the moment, I'm thinking Brian Nolan is the third choice centre back. So I'm going to put him down here on the bench to start with. And I'm going to see in the summer if we can find that other centre back option. Someone of Callum Simpson or Pakula level. In midfield, this is where we have absolutely got to crank things up. Alex Baker. He's still wanted by Millwall, but he's also wanted by Birmingham, who are going up to the Premier League. What is his contract release clause? 3.6 million. I mean, if Birmingham want to pay that for him and take him to the Premier League, then that would help us out financially. But I hope he's still here. He should be my new captain, so we'll see what happens. Dylan Jones, is he wanted by anyone else other than Millwall? No, so he's going to stay with us. So yeah, I want a box-to-box midfielder of championship standards to partner Alex Baker there. On the right, I really hope we can confirm Jack Evans on a free transfer. Mario Kakia, I think, can be the best playmaker in the championship. Harry Brady, still costing us nothing. The championship top scorer will continue there. And I want to get an upgrade on Ellis Chapman. He's 32. I've got to be looking to fill those positions. So I've got 4 first team positions that I want to fill. Goalkeeper, centre back, box to box midfielder, and left winger. I want to get a championship standard player in each of those positions. If I can do that, I think we've got a real chance of promotion next season. On the bench, who still cuts it? Ellis Chapman certainly does. Sanisalo, the backup goalkeeper, or moving him on. I wouldn't have too much trouble. Wouldn't have too much problem with Tommy Reid staying as the backup goalkeeper. Rocco Vata on the bench, but again, hopefully we can get a little bit of interest in him. Josh Kennedy also on the bench. Ufi Dreyer, can I move him on in the summer? I'm going to try. Saunders can be our 4th choice centre back if we can keep him happy. He wants to go out on loan at the moment. Concannon I will try and move on. Malicio certainly can be a backup midfielder for us on the bench. Who else have we got here? Moreno can certainly be a backup midfielder on the bench as the box-to-box midfielder. And Anthony Johnson can be a backup on the bench as well. Does Harry Wilson play a part as a midfielder? I mean, he can be the right winger. He can be a right winger. He can be a left winger. He can be a number 10. We'll see what happens. Could he maybe be a deep line playmaker? Is he still good enough to do that? Where he doesn't have to run? He's not really, is he? He's not really. I mean, yeah, his physicals have just fallen off a cliff. So if I can move him on or loan him out, I'll try to do that. But I think he's just going to run down his contract with us. Yeah, so that leaves us with a number of players to try and move on. Ufi Dreyer, he's worth 425,000. I'm going to offer him out now and see if there's any. Yeah, he would be interested to move to another club, so he's not going to get too upset. Let's offer him out for the 425 and see if there's any takers. We'll see if there's anybody interested in him at that. Who else might we be able to offer out here? Concannon. Who is he wanted by? He's wanted by Plymouth, who have just been promoted. So let's offer him out. It says he's only worth 150,000. So let's offer him out at the 150. If Plymouth want to take that, that'll be a decent little bit of business. It's not a lot of money, but he cost us nothing, obviously. Who else? Paul Collins. And that's basically everybody. Eddie Little is going to be coming back to us after his loan at Wimbledon. He was absolutely abysmal on loan. He's had an awful, awful season. He's still improving though at 21. I might try and offer him out if I can get somewhere near that £1 million. That would be decent. Mwebwese, I am going to allow to leave. He hasn't really improved. It's disappointing. He's had another good season in the Vanarama National League. But unfortunately, all his loans have gone well, but he just hasn't improved enough. He hasn't improved as I was hoping. He's not championship level, so I'm going to let him go at the end of his contract. John Campbell, again, we'll definitely be offering him out. He's worth up to 1.7 million, but he's got a contract release fee clause of 1.1 for a Premier League team. So I don't know, maybe we can get more than that. When he comes back from Lincoln, I'll offer him out for the 1.7, see if there's any takers. It would be nice to get some good money for him. He's had a really good season in League One, but again, he's not championship quality. Fitzgerald, again, he's had a good season in League Two for Hartlepool. I'm going to see if I can get the 850 for him. He's not championship standard. I think he's an ex-Stoke man, isn't he? Yes. He's had 2 good loans. We've got another couple of seasons on his contract. I'm going to see if I can get those 800,000 for him. Brian Byrne, a similar situation. He's got, I think, another year on his contract. He is worth up to 2.3 million, apparently. Has he got a clause? He has no minimum release fee clause. So if I can get 2 million for him, he's improved during his loan in League Two. He's had an okay season. Yeah, again, he's not championship standard. So if I can get him moved on, he's an ex-Newcastle man, I think, isn't he? Yeah. He's had 2 seasons there at Chesterfield and done okay. If I can get him moved on and get I mean, I don't think he's worth a couple of million, but if I could get somewhere like that, 1.5, 2 million, be amazing. Luis Alvarez has been on loan in Spain. He's done okay. Again, he's not championship standard. He's worth virtually nothing. I think we'll just keep him around. Keep him around for next season. Maybe see how he does in pre-season. Maybe he could be a 4th choice centre back. And Emiliano Hassa, he is a player he's actually very comparable with Malicio. Let's have a look at him against Joaquim Malicio. You can see there, it says Emiliano Hassa is the better player on the polygon. He is better technically. He's not quite as good mentally as Malicio, but he's also better physically. So does he play a part in midfield next season? He can also play at right back. He looks like he could be an okay right back, actually. He's got the crossing. He's got decent first touch. He takes a really good free kick. Do I bring him in as a backup right back? I think I might do that, you know. I think he might be our backup right back for next season. I don't know. Am I mad? Is he just a League One player? Am I crazy for thinking that maybe he could play a part? I'm going to put him in there in the squad as the backup right back at the moment. I wouldn't have a problem playing him there at right back and seeing how he develops. So I'll put him in there for now. We'll see what happens with him. But I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players that I want to try and offer out, and also Rocco Vata. So if I can move those 7 players on, in theory that represents quite a lot of money that could come into the club. And also Sanisalo, I mean, he's not worth a lot. That's the problem there. I think I'm better off keeping Sanisalo because he's just not worth enough money to really make it worthwhile. So there you go. That's what I'm thinking for next season. We'll end this episode there. I am now going to start playing through to July the 1st of next season. If there are any big important ins or outs before then, I will let you know about it. But the next episode will probably start 1st of July, and we will just have a look at how the pre-season goes, how the transfer window goes, and if we are managing to get those 4 next level players in that can hopefully give us a title push for next season and complete the fairy tale of getting to the Premier League. As I said at the start of the episode, if you've enjoyed it, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you would like to see more of Dog Turds Into Diamonds. It's been a great season. I think we've got the potential for an even better season to come. Let's hope it can happen. That's all for me for today. Thanks for watching. See you very soon. Bye for now.